I've just nipped down to the what was the Salt Museum, which was the old workhouse, and just about to go inside in a minute, but I've not noticed this around the back before. Not quite sure where it is. We'll have a read of that notice board in a minute. Obviously some sort of crane or other maybe. Some great guapples are getting on there, look. You can't keep a guapple down. You see the rollers there that a bit narrow on the rollers, unless there was some on that outer race, I don't know. Probably been removed before now. Oh, I wonder if it was let's have a read. Oh, it's the old off the old bridge, right. I didn't know they kept that. Yeah, I can see now there. Right, so we've all walked over that baby, haven't we, in the past? Now if you look up, I just noticed up at the top, if you have a look there. Off the what would have been the support bars for the span, you know. Same principle as in most bridges, I should imagine. Oh well, that's interesting, isn't it? Have I beat that Darren to something? I bet he's got a picture of it. I bet he had a picture of it when he was in his nappies or something. It's tidy balks of timber, aren't they? Well done. Some sort of engine over here. Whether it's steam or what, I'm not sure. The heart of a ship. Yarwoods. Oh, it's the engine out of Anderton, is it? Right. They must have scrapped her off then. My brother was telling me he spent a night on one of the ICI boats. I don't know if it was this one, but they're all the same virtually. Cumberbatch and Marbury and all of them, they're all more or less the same sort of build. He said he used to have a cup of tea with the lads, you know. Tidy engine, isn't it? It's like that one we saw at the steam fair. They have a really distinctive pattern to the running, you know. It's different than a car. I suppose it's because it's such a long stroke, isn't it? with the counterbalances. That's the crescent shaped items there. I bet that's gone up and down a time or two. Look at the engineering in it. All hissing and steaming, and sliders there, and slide up and down as the rods go up and down. Fabulous. Must take some designing, you know, get all the timings right, and like those offset. See how they offset on the crescent there? See how it goes from small to big. Bit of a rocking action on that, whatever it is, I don't know. Something to do with the timing. Condenser probably. More like the stuff I used to work on myself, but of course not this shape, but sort of size. Vacuum, great big vacuum pumps. I think the smallest we did you could hold in your hand, and the biggest one was 18.5 ton. Use them in paper mills for high volume. Anyway, here we are at the back, and I don't suppose it's a shot again you get to see very often. Another plaque over here, one over yonder. I suppose might as well do them as well. There's another one to the right. They're probably telling us where the other buildings were, because if you've seen the picture, which I'll try and include when I do the video, is you can see the people in the courtyard, which is about where I am now. That's what I've got a stone here. What's this saying? So we can get a focus on it. This stone was laid by Mrs. Herbert Livingstone to commemorate the founding of the Murgatroyd Vacuum Salt Company Limited, a culmination of the work of Dr. Lenstein in the chemical industry. And then it's in Roman numerals, so I think M's 1,000 in it. C's probably hundreds. I don't know, I'm not that good at normal sums, but maybe some bright sparks out there will tell us. Swinging round, grow your own. I can't grow out. I put my hands on it, it snuffs it. Except great grapplers, they'll survive anything. Even I can grow them. Great grappling weeds is my speciality. Get a little look at that engine from here. It's a big bag of that, isn't it? 2-cylinder. Pleasant surprise that is. Quite enjoyed that. Something I didn't know. You know me, I'm a right know-all. Well, for some things. A grand building, isn't it? Look at them great grapplers up there growing on that chimney. Oh, we've got a fire going. There must be a bit on the outside. Like a proper coal fire. I've not had a chance to get out to film. It's been that grotty weather. Northwich Hall. This ties in again. It's amazing how stuff ties in, isn't it? if that's the one that was stood up there and they've moved it down here. They'll be getting vandalised or something like that, you know. It looks very much like it, to be honest. There we are. Perfect. There's one more over yonder. Bad sign, I'm getting crumply noises from these leaves under my feet. And what does that mean, folks? Ooh, it's brrr time. Bit of hibernation. Oh, some more of that modern art stuff here. That's a bit of a dirty sign on here. Workhouse pigs. Plans of Northwich Union Workhouse show there was a piggery on this site as early as 1871. Oh well. Yeah, I could do a little polish up, couldn't I? A bit of varnish on wood. These, I take it, are imitation piggies. Here's my sound effects coming up. Keep listening. I tell you what, you get you spoiled. I spoil you with all these sound effects. I won't do that again. Nearly choked me, son. It's very nice and quiet out here. It's a shame go inside, really, but in we go. And the worst thing is we've got pay. In Thompson's. And anyway, I've got a ticket so I can get a bit off, I think. Oh, hang on, was that? There we go. Future of salt. Nearly missed this one out. The vacuum salt process is cheaper and more energy efficient way of producing salt than traditional evaporation methods. Well, that's where my work line came in. We did vacuum pumps for ICI, Lostock, and Winnington, pretty well all over. Blackpool, ICI Blackpool's gone now, I think. Lots and lots of paper works, paper mills, you know, loads of them. But they're all closing down. People are using less and less paper. Ooh, another one. Ah, hey, look at this. This is a one-up on that Darren. Nah, I bet he's got a picture. He's bound to have. He's bound to have a picture. I don't think it's the one that's in the picture, mine, but if it is, there's a couple of lamps missing. I think it's a general idea anyway, isn't it? I'll get a bit closer. I mean, you can pause it anyway and read it if you want to. Oh, I see, it's to do with Bates Foundry. I've not got my glasses on them. I'm looking at this, you know, with hazy eyes as it was. Which way up's that? Yeah, there we are. Oh well. My brother I never knew when we were talking about stuff. My brother actually worked here at Bates's. I call. And he was telling me about it when what it was like in there, you know. He said, oh my God, he said. He's barring stuff out onto where would be that new road now they've just altered right through right from that far end of Bates's, from where they were pouring stuff and doing, and he had to walk all the way out there, you know, and tipping it out about where that road is. It's like one of tractor tyres from Winsford Mine. I bet they're not cheap. It's done a mile or 3. Oh, some down below maybe. Up from the depths. Michelin. Nothing but the best. And Tassie Dobley. And our friends the viaduct there. Guarded by great guaplers. Great guaplers growing up there, look. Yodelers them are called when they get up high like that. Yodeler graps. It has a funny word, see. A yodeler grap. I'll have to remember that one now. Got up there. Can't see them yet, there they are. If I listen very carefully, I think I can hear them. Yodel. It's a schoolroom. Well, obviously you can see that, but you know, I am for stating the obvious. That's the complex as it was. You can see it was quite extensive at the back, wasn't it? Somebody made a very nice model of it. Don't know if it's the children or where are we? Get the right way on. Ooh, double archery. I bet that was busy. Men's yard. Oh, of course it was all separated then, wasn't it? Oh, fraternising. A women's yard. The piggery. Not my foot, that's a piggery. Girls and boys were separated. Order and routine. Couldn't mess about there, now she'd be out on your ear. For bell tolls, chopping sticks, breaking stones, and teasing, I'm not sure what it is, could be hemp for rope and get you this, it's a bit low, so I'm not worried. Again, you can always pause if you want to read it. I'm trying trying to improve my camera work again, get back a bit steady, but luckily I never had, I've been on day in one of these, a bit bigger than that. I've still got a scar on my arm where I cut my arm on the edge of it. Somebody's old tin bath, and of course it became a boat. Boat shape, so in it went. Well, I remember having a go on it. The national anthem. I expect you all to know this by this evening. You know the correct way to put a Union Jack up, with the flagpoles on the left. If you see that there, that red stripe, that's how it should be. That's where that goes, up the flagpole. If you've got this piece there that goes to the ceiling, you're wrong. So that's how they go. And now you know how Union Jack should fly. School bells and a mitre. The bells. All these fancy ways they've got of teaching them now, and how simple can it get, you know? The building blocks are there, aren't they? Many would say, I suppose it's not good enough to get you advanced, you know. A bit too much there. Very ornate, isn't it? I remember seeing my Grandad Burgess's First World War discharge paper, honourable discharge. Very similar to that, all fancy scroll work on. Wounded twice. They always say look up to royalty, but if you look down this list, there's a few vagabonds and what have you, not very nice people. Northwich Union Workhouse. We haven't got a Mark 1 Exocet. No board rubber, where's that? Victorian iPod. I tell you, I remember using these at school, but it didn't have a fancy handle like that. It was a brown one. No, them are. Look like knuckle dusters. Don't think they got that bad, did they? Oh, look here. Oh, I met him a few times, look. Oh, that's had a bit of whacking. Mr. Myerscough. Any time I had it, and I hadn't done out wrong, somebody had said I'd done something, and I said it wasn't me. Anyway, I still got cane. Them remind me of Victoria Road School, them windows. You remember them? Got locks on them so you can't open. That that wedge piece of wood there. I bet you didn't say boo. Physical education. Oh, there's a shop. I think that's more or less a shop I was on about before, isn't it? Segregated inside and out. Change battery, getting right to that, the old dog and bone. This is at the very left-hand extremities of the building. Wonder whether the fireplace was made at Bates's foundry. Bit dark painting, but make it so you can see it. Back off a bit and zoom in. Hopefully it stays in focus. Sir John Brunner. Out of the window so you can see where we are. That's the Art College up the road there. I think I'm on the wrong side of that. Keep it darkened out most of the time so it doesn't get damaged, you know. Red bin. The bottom of the museums are all to do with the museum, and upstairs is Northwich related stuff, so stuff from the kiddies, I think. A bit like Harry Lauder, isn't it? And those lights. Let's come round here a bit. That's a good check suit, that, isn't it? Nothing on them to say who they are, but or whether they're just facsimiles, you know. it's getting in the way a bit. I don't know whether they're genuine people. Winsford clockmaker. Heating just come on there, thinking warm as it is. I think these are just give you the impression of what it was like, you know. Rather a grand building, isn't it? I'll show you the ceiling. It's posh, isn't it? Zoom out a bit, be able to see something. What's behind me is a replication of that, basically. Some grillings up there. I think there's a sort of a tower above, isn't there? There'd be some special name for it, but hard work. Phew, this a bit. Fold away mangle. Cholera. Victorian wash day. On a Monday I could still remember Mother outside in wash house with a copper boiler going. Tell you what, women today haven't got a clue what it was like. You don't know what hard work is. All day she was at it. I remember coming home and lights going and so I used to get on mangle and I got her an automatic washing machine as soon as I got working. Well, it was a twin tub first and eventually worked up as to come out, you know. I got a fully automatic job. Well deserved, and now she'd done enough. Dolly tub, for those that don't know. Dolly peg. Put that in and that does your washing machine one there, clothes horse, and I think that's a posser for going up and down that one. Cleanliness is next to godliness. I remember one of them being at home, the crossfire hole, or the S-hole, I don't know what it was called, the S-hole to be honest. Oh, fancy the go, having a go at that weaving like, looks interesting. Flat irons, homemade pegs, more possers, a bigger clothes horse. That's a proper job, that's the one I remember there, that one. Right, muscles on your muscles with them. You say these women now. They'd cry, they would. Slopston, remember that? That's just how ours was when I was a kid. And down to the right there used to be a stop tap. And they'd have the cold water tap. And there'd be foot on there, tap open and a drink, council pot. And I swear to this day, it tasted better then than it does now. Glug, 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 glug away at that. Oh, I tell you. A few good flat irons there. Set of clogs. My brothers had them when they were growing up. They both got flat feet. They swear that that's what did it. Wearing them. Used to have steel, what's names underneath, you know. Used to skid along, making sparks and that. Those fellas used to have to put them on playback. Workhouse wash day. Again, you can always pause if you want to read it. That's a posh one, you can use it as a table, can't you? I should take my cap off now, shouldn't I? We are not amused. There, Terry. I can't quite see it, but I bet it's a bit grim. If that's, I think that's the diet I need to be on now. Get some of this muscle off. Get a bit of a gallop on 25 to 4. I don't know what time it shoots. I think we've got about half now. We're going on to Northwich stuff. So I'll switch off for now. It's behind the main doors. Places for the children, grown-ups, buying their coats and stuff as they come out. Guardians of the Workhouse. Where you come in, assortment of gifts and so on. Yeah, got that book I've just received, that Yarwood's book. The Workhouse cookbook. A small cafe. Yeah, I even noticed an ice cream sign outside. Oh dear. Don't know how lucky we were, do we? I was saying my Granny Rowe ended her days in here when it was like a care home, you know, because as I was saying, there was no NHS then. It's like we've got a reproduction living room or something. Hey, imagine having to get all that lot on before you go out. Thinking that. Now chuck a pair of jeans on and off you go. But there's about 50 petticoats and what have you under there. There's an old picture of Aspidestras, isn't it? St. Helens. master and matron sitting room is what it's supposedly replicating. Again, you can pause it if you want to read. I'll just go in a bit closer and then I'm sure you can read it.
I can't see it. She used to be in there, isn't it? Well, you got the coat there. That's known as beef salt. It's like piece of beef. Right.
Right, let's see what's running ahead.
Going on, right, see you, man. You're not good. Don't good. Right, there you go. Right, see you, man.
Stuff from schools, I think. I've even got some more, quite surprised when I came in, some Regal seats. Eh? And Tuzzy. Fair few of them, must be 100 in here.
Kitchen, dining room, receiving room, male dorms to the south and female dorms to the north. But why was the workhouse built and what would it have in store for the inmates?
The new Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834 was behind the foundation of the workhouses. This re-amendment of the previous Poor Law Act of 1601 enforced a standard system which was centred around the workhouse. For once the poor were seen as victims of their situation. The Northwich Poor Law Union was formed on the 20th of October 1836 and was overseen by an elected Board of Guardians.
Elected to represent the 61 parishes and townships of the local area, the Board of Guardians oversaw the foundation of the Northwich Workhouse. The men elected would meet regularly, approximately once a week, to discuss matters, for example, donations of toys for children, payment of staff and medical reports. They also discussed who would be allowed to enter the workhouse.
On entering the workhouse, a family would be separated into categories depending on their gender, age and if they were able-bodied. Once this was established, the new inmates were bathed and issued a workhouse uniform.
The workhouse was run by the master and matron, usually a married couple. The master's role was to admit the paupers and be in charge of the general running of the workhouse. His wife acted as deputy, who would also look after the female inmates and oversee the training of the children. Within the workhouse were other people who ensured that the house ran smoothly. These included a school teacher, a chaplain, nurse and a porter whose job was to keep the gate and record who entered and left the workhouse.
At 6 a.m, the bell rung indicating the start of the day. Breakfast consisted of gruel and bread. After breakfast, the inmates would start their day's work. The types of jobs included picking oakum, chopping wood, breaking stones, doing the laundry, and many more. Children would receive at least 3 hours of teaching daily, in addition to usual workhouse chores.
The workhouse routine was harsh and repetitive. In theory, inmates were allowed to leave at any time, but without a job to go to, they would soon need to return. If the head of the family had found work, they and the whole family would then be able to leave the workhouse.
The Northwich Workhouse continued to grow. In 1850, a fever hospital was added, followed in 1863 by proper baths and an extended entrance block in 1892. In 1930, it became Northwich Poor Law Institution and later an old people's home until 1964. The part of the original workhouse which remains is now home to Weaver Hall Museum. Other aspects of local history and archaeology are explored in the museum's galleries, including Bronze Age Cheshire, Roman Northwich, medieval abbeys and pilgrims, travel by river and railway, and the discovery of polythene in the town in 1933. You'll find all of these stories and many more in our galleries. We hope...
Get a better shot of that in a minute. Oh dear, no knees are aching today for some reason. Amalgamated, oh it's unions. Just have to adjust the camera.
From which escapes the foul liquid from the privy cesspools in each house. And the fetid mixture runs down a shallow open ditch into the adjoining field, where it disappears into the soil. In another court, the shared privets are provided with a huge cesspool which has not been emptied for 3 years. Though the occupier does not anticipate any trouble for this purpose, as the contents are washed away
Give
by
me arm a rest.
they rise to the surface. And I would suggest you avoid venturing into Fleming Street. The port's there without any
Trade union. Quite a complicated thing, wasn't it? Not that complicated, you know what I mean, but all the regalia.
Overflowing leak through walls. Liquid runs from the pigsties and dung heaps through the sandy soil into the houses. And following the complaint from the Wesleyan Church School about foul smells, I discovered that the drain contained sewage from a number of houses, run right beneath the schoolroom and carrying its owners into that room. I should just hope that my report to the board brings about an improvement to the sanitary conditions of the inhabitants of these courts, Mr. Joe.
That's how I used to get down at Rock Mine. It's scary. That's what you went down in, I think. Must have had a lot of them. A lump of rock salt. That's what you get prior to crushing. It goes on your roads.
Now, you must be a newcomer to these places.
All the saws.
I've been visiting these yards to see for myself, and report the conditions in our Northwich yard. Besides, I was informed by our inspector that Curtis, so police, that he was about to search the common lodging house, and a few of his
candles. Putting on your knees, stop your knees getting mashed up. I don't suppose they did a very good job, but
I say we pushed our way into the house because it had scarcely the capacity of a dog. There was only one bedroom, the ascent to which was extremely dangerous owing to the dilapidated condition of the stairs. All the passage and furniture.
quite a long video, Ray, could do with a seat.
From this hovel, we then proceeded to unfold in the same court, where sat two human forms on a bed of straw. We were informed of a relationship that of mother and child. To me, the mother seemed to be a girl barely in her teens.
Like Workhouse, social welfare.
Who was apparently 15 or 18 months old. A few rags.
Polythene, souvenirs. I bet there's still some down ICI, maybe Bates's, probably under a feet. Just making sure I got a funny feeling I might not press record when I did a bit of a battery change. Roman helmet, the original. I can always delete it if I've got it. But, that's a replica. Medieval. Keeping ladies quiet. Vale Royal Abbey. The Bowman. I was just looking at the archer there, and the misconception that people that used to fire bows used to be like Robin Hood and taking steady aim and, you know, looking at for a certain thing. But in reality it was totally different. I remember being down at Warwick Castle and watching the guy there giving a demonstration on shooting the longbow, and he said people used to think what I've just said to you. He said, but in fact, he said what they'd do, they'd have arrows stuck in the ground, a bit like alongside this archer, and they'd pick one up, load it, aim into the sky, and let loose the arrow. And that was the way it was done. And he said a really good archer could get off a dozen arrows in a minute. That's loading, up, fire, and then repeating. And that's the way they did it. That's the way it was done at Agincourt when the English beat the French. And millions of arrows going up and then coming down. Of course, they went over the top of the shields and what have you. Very interesting. And you can see on the wall there these different arrowheads. Ones for piercing armour and others for killing horses and all sorts of manner of maiming and doing, you know. Another fact that people might or might not know, your rather rude sign of putting two fingers up came from the same period, because when the French used to catch the English archers, they would cut off two fingers that they used to draw the bow, so they couldn't fire the bow very easily. And during battles, you know, if the English were doing well or whatever, and they'd stand there putting the two fingers up to show that they're still in possession of them, you know. And that's where it came into being. Of now it's like when you give somebody the two fingers, a vulgar movement. That's where it originated from. It's an example of the wooden brick construction that you see in many of the buildings.
Situated in the heart of Cheshire Bay, Northwich sits at the confluence of the River and the Thames.
Local constabulary. Commemorative shovel.
Investigations carried out at the Workhouse Borough Council showed that filling the mines was the only way of bringing this valuable urban space back into use. The promoter and manager of the project was Workhouse Borough Council. It chose a design and construct contract that was undertaken by Workhouse Construction, assisted by their consultants Arrow. Workhouse has a long relationship on the design and construction of mine building projects, working with the consultant Arrow and subcontractor M&J Doing Services.
Putting that stuff under town. Don't agree with it anyway. I think that's more or less it, my dears. Getting ready for my tea anyway. I don't think it's out down there, but we'll just check. Toilets. Evac chair. I think we've more or less got it. But his arm's aching holding that bowl back. About £60 pull on some of them, you know. You had to work your way up to them. Craftsmanship on that. There's a bit more, isn't there? A bit of a salt pan. Corner off a salt pan. But I think we've done them, haven't we? Traffic's building up. Just my car on car